Warning, the content you are about to hear on this podcast contains some explicit language. Discretion is advised.
I think that I'm just a rock chick.
I would describe my music and my sound as Avril Lavigne.
It's the best damn thing.
Welcome back to another episode of the Best Damn Avril Lavigne podcast, a facts and trivia-based podcast about Canadian pop singer Avril Lavigne. I'm your host, Andrea DiFrancesco. In this edition of the Best Damn Avril Lavigne podcast, we'll learn some general facts and trivia all about the pop-punk princess herself. But before we launch into today's topic, I want to first give an update on what's been happening with Avril since our last episode. On December 1st, Nylon Magazine published a new interview with Avril where she revealed the new album will be released in February 2022. She also discussed her journey as an artist, staying true to herself, her plans for the 20th anniversary of Let Go next year, and so much more. I highly recommend checking it out, plus the issue features some gorgeous new shots and a video segment where she counted down her top 8 career moments. And on December 2nd, she appeared at the radio station Alt 98.7 in LA, where she taped a segment for She Is the Voice with Chris Booker, which is due to air on December 10th. The host also revealed that she would be releasing the acoustic version of Bite Me on this same day. Lastly, on December 4th, Avril attended the Variety Hitmakers brunch in Los Angeles, where she presented the award for Songwriter of the Year to Olivia Rodrigo. That same evening, Avril also attended an event for Machine Gun Kelly's new nail polish line. So that's everything that's been happening with Avril currently at the time of this recording, and we also have to go back to our previous episode, which was all about Avril's acting roles. I had mentioned a couple of commercials she did that I couldn't find, but one of those guys from Avril Band-Aids was able to track them down for me, so a big thank you goes out to them for helping me find them. The first commercial was for a contest she did with MTV called I'm With Avril, where the winner would get to join her in Europe on the Try to Shut Me Up tour. In the commercial, Avril is being filmed by an actor portraying the winner who is pestering Avril with questions while she's practicing on her guitar. The winner would get to join Avril for 5 days in Europe in 5 different countries, plus they would win $5,000 and a DV camera. The second commercial was a promo for the 2004 Juno Awards where a fan asks for a picture. She lifts up her hoodie pretending to flash the fan, which reveals a t-shirt with 2 babies on it named Matt and Evan, named after 2 of her bandmates at the time. And now that we're all caught up, we can move on to today's topic, which is facts and trivia all about Avril herself. The very first episode we did of the podcast featured facts about Avril's musical beginnings, so I tried to include some more general facts about Avril's early life as well as her hobbies and interests, broken down by topic. Most of this information has been confirmed by Avril herself in interviews or confirmed in books or news articles. Early life and family. Avril's full birth name is Avril Ramona Lavigne, and she was born on September 27, 1984 in Belleville, Ontario, Canada, making her zodiac sign a Libra. She is of French-Canadian descent from her father's side and English, Scottish, and German descent from her mother's side. Her parents are named Jean-Claude, who is called John and was born in France, and Judith Rosanne Lashaw, who is called Judy. Her parents are divorced and both remarried. Avril's dad worked for a phone company and her mom was a stay-at-home mother. Because Avril's dad was born in France, Avril is legally French by birth, according to the rule of jus sanguinis. Her parents named her Avril because her dad wanted to give her a French name and her mom wanted to name her April. Avril is French for April, and Lavigne is French for the vine. Her middle name is Ramona after her grandmother. She has an older brother, Matt, who is older than Avril by 2 years, and a younger sister, Michelle, who is younger by 3 years. When Avril was 5 years old, the Lavignes moved to the small town of Napanee and lived on Angus Drive, which inspired the title of Avril's first EP. She began singing at the age of 2 when she came home from church, singing Jesus Loves Me. At that point, her mom knew Avril would be a singer. She began performing at the age of 7, singing in church, school, and local fairs and singing contests. As a child, she took piano lessons for 2 years and taught herself guitar at around age 10 or 12. She also learned how to play the drums as a child and also knows how to play bass, though she has never played bass in concert or on an album. Her siblings also know how to play musical instruments since her parents got them all a set of musical instruments for Christmas one year and turned their basement into a music studio, which is where Avril would practice every day after school and make VHS tapes to mail to record executives. The first chord she learned to play on the guitar was G at age 7. She sang her first solo at 10 years old in a Christmas cantata called Near to the Heart of God. Avril's mom says Avril didn't like having to share the microphone with the other kids, and Avril says her siblings made fun of her because her nostrils would flare when she sang. She also said her brother would get annoyed when Avril would sing herself to sleep at night and bang on her bedroom wall. Avril wrote her first song when she was 13 called Can't Stop Thinking of You. She wrote a second song called Darlin' at around 14 or 15, which ended up on her 4th album, Goodbye Lullaby. As we talked about in the previous episode, Avril also participated in community theater as a child, once playing the role of Sally Brown in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown at age 12. She also had a role in Godspell at age 14. When she was 14 years old, she auditioned for a no-budget production called Discovering Emma, a video of which can be found on YouTube. She has said on multiple occasions that she doesn't ever get stage fright or get nervous before shows. Whenever her parents had company over, Avril would often run into the room and sing or do a cartwheel. She said when she was younger, she would lay pieces of paper on the kitchen table and pretend like she was signing her autograph. Her family is devout Baptist, and Avril grew up going to Evangel Temple as well as Third Day Worship Center in Kingston. Her parents were very strict. Her mom wouldn't let her sing the country song Strawberry Wine by Deanna Carter because it had the word wine in it. Now, I honestly think Avril's mom just said that as an excuse since the song is really more controversial for its lyrics about teenage sex, but Avril has always insisted that it's because it referenced alcohol. According to the book Avril Lavigne's Celebrity with Heart by Jeff Burlingame, published in 2011, Avril attended Westdale Park Public School, then was transferred to Cornerstone Christian Academy in 4th grade since she would often get into fights with the other kids. It was a private school located near the Evangel Temple where her family went to church. Upon her graduation, she received 2 awards for the Marie Cowling Memorial Award for having a musical ability out of a heart for ministry and a desire to serve others, and the Robbie Latkins Award for Most Improved Graduate. She then went to Napanee District Secondary School for high school, which has a photo of Avril hanging in the hallway. Avril dropped out of high school at the age of 16 in order to work on her debut album. She was supposed to have continued her education on the road, but didn't. To this day, she has never completed her high school education. Her favorite subjects in school were music, drama, and physical education. She took a class in school for classical guitar and received a failing grade of 48. Avril would often get grounded for getting into trouble and would sneak out of the house to go to parties and hang out with friends. She disliked school and had trouble paying attention. She would often get kicked out of class for talking or laughing. Once, after being kicked out of class, she and her friend rode their skateboards down the hallway. Avril said she once got suspended from school for drinking beer while on a school hockey trip. She also used to drink Mike's Hard Lemonade with her girlfriends in the school bathroom. She also once revealed in an interview that she got in trouble as a teen for trying to steal a car. It's unclear whether she got arrested since she said she couldn't really talk about it. She would often doodle on her notebooks while sitting in class. Though Avril has said she had friends from all different groups in school, she hung mostly with the skaters. She used to babysit, shovel driveways, and mow lawns for money. She also briefly worked in the fast food restaurant Mary Brown's Chicken and Taters, which she mentions in the song My World, in the lyric, "Got fired by a fried chicken ass." She is afraid to lock the bathroom door because she used to accidentally get locked in the bathroom as a child. Avril's brother Matt is the head of Avril's security team and travels on the road with her. All of Avril's family members have appeared in at least one of Avril's music videos except for her dad. Avril's younger sister Michelle married the bassist for the Japanese rock band 1OK Rock, Ryota Kahama, in February 2017, and their daughter was born later that October. Both of Avril's siblings have children, which makes Avril an aunt. She loves kids and has said that she would like to have a family one day. Musical favorites. Growing up, Avril loved listening to the Beach Boys, Alanis Morissette, Green Day, Blink-182, Sum 41, The Distillers, The Cranberries, Matchbox 20, The Goo Goo Dolls, Radiohead, Hole, System of a Down, Shania Twain, and the Dixie Chicks. Before she became famous, her mother made her attend a Britney Spears concert so she could see other people perform. Her favorite songs from each of her albums are Losing Grip from Let Go, Together from Under My Skin, I Can Do Better from The Best Damn Thing, Push and Goodbye from Goodbye Lullaby, Give You What You Like and Hush Hush from Avril Lavigne, and I Fell in Love with the Devil from Head Above Water. When listing her top 5 favorite songs from her own catalog, she cited Skater Boy Girlfriend, I'm With You, My Happy Ending, and Bite Me. Her favorite song to perform live is I'm With You, and the most fun song to perform is Girlfriend. She cites the song Goodbye as the most personal and vulnerable song she has ever written, and that she will probably never perform it live. She has expressed that writing and producing songs alone is important to her. In recent years, she has become a fan of jazz and Rat Pack, citing Frank Sinatra as one of her favorites. Some of her favorite songs include Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra, Surfer Girl by the Beach Boys, Creep by Radiohead, Cheers by Rihanna, which samples her own song I'm With You, Paradise by Coldplay, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, Hey Ya by Outkast, Mob Scene by Marilyn Manson, and How You Remind Me by Nickelback. One of her favorite albums is The Bends by Radiohead. When asked if she prefers Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera, she chose Britney. Her favorite songs by Britney Spears are Gimme More, Toxic, and Every Time. When asked how she would describe her music, she simply answered Avril Lavigne. She has said that the Black Star Tour was her favorite tour. She has said she would like to have a career like Madonna. She possesses a soprano vocal range. She has expressed interest in recording a Christmas album or possibly a country album one day. She stated that she owns more than 50 guitars. When she's in the recording studio, she likes to keep the room very dark. She will often work in the studio all night long and into the very early hours of the morning. The longest amount of time Avril spent working on an album was Head Above Water, which took about 3 years to complete. The shortest amount of time Avril has spent on an album was her upcoming 7th album, which took about 4 to 5 months to complete. Avril's longest tour was the Bones Tour, which lasted nearly 1 year for a total of 145 shows. Her shortest tour was the Head Above Water tour, which only had a total of 15 shows due to the European and Asian legs being canceled because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The name of Avril's fanbase is known as Little Black Stars. She came up with the name while trying to decide on the name of the Black Star Tour, stating that the fans could be her little black stars in the audience. Favorite TV shows, books, and movies. She says that she doesn't like to read or watch TV too much. Her favorite shows as a child were Looney Tunes and Care Bears. Her current favorite TV shows include Orange is the New Black and Schitt's Creek. Her favorite book is Fast Food Nation by Eric Schlosser, in which she had a starring role in the film adaptation. As a child, she was a fan of the Alice in Wonderland books. Her favorite Disney movie as a child was The Little Mermaid. She once stated her favorite actor is Tobey Maguire and her favorite actress is Sandra Bullock. She is a fan of the Harry Potter films, Sister Act 2, and Home Alone. And her favorite video game is Super Mario Bros. 3. Favorite foods. Her favorite foods are pizza and the Canadian dish poutine. Her favorite restaurant is La Pizzeria in Napanee, where she used to eat lunch every day in high school. The owners named a special pizza after her called the Avril Lavigne pizza, which contains Avril's favorite toppings of pepperoni, mushrooms, and green olives. There is also a chair inside the restaurant autographed by Avril. Besides La Pizzeria, Avril's other favorite places to eat are Nobu and Boa Steakhouse. Avril eats a mainly vegan or vegetarian diet and usually avoids dairy. She is also an excellent cook and often makes homemade dishes. Her specialties include homemade soups and pastas, as well as bruschetta and no-bake chocolate cookies. She often posts cooking videos on Instagram. In 2020, she registered the trademark for Lavigne Cuisine and has expressed interest in writing a cookbook. She also loves beer and wine and registered the trademark for Chateau Lavigne in 2017, which was presumably filed for wine-related products. Her favorite movie snacks are truffle popcorn and white truffle potato chips. Her favorite flavor of ice cream is cotton candy. Her favorite candy bar is Cadbury Caramel, and she likes to eat cupcakes with a fork. Athletics and other hobbies. Growing up, Avril loved playing sports. At the age of 10, she was on an all-boys hockey team for which she won Most Valuable Player twice, then played for a girls' team in high school, playing right wing and center. She also was the pitcher for her school's baseball team. Avril and her brother did track and field and also went hunting and fishing. She set a triple jump record at the 1998 Christian Schools and Homeschoolers annual track and field competition. She also played soccer as a child in Napanee, wearing a Home Hardware shirt, which she wore while performing on Saturday Night Live in 2003. She began skateboarding in 11th grade while bored one summer at her family's cottage. Avril and her sister took Highland dancing lessons as kids. Avril also enjoys doing yoga, surfing, snowboarding, and rollerblading. She would often do yoga before shows to relax. Her other hobbies include painting, cooking, and gardening. Animals. Avril's favorite animal is a koala. She is also scared of bugs. She has asthma and is allergic to both cats and dogs, though growing up, her family had a miniature schnauzer named Sam. Avril has mentioned on several occasions that she would like to get a small dog. Relationships. Avril said she had her first kiss when she was 14 after inviting a boy over when her parents weren't home because she, quote, wanted to get it over with. While not much is known about Avril's relationships from before she was famous, we do know that during the process of making her first album, she dated Mark Gould, who was in a band called Off by One, who were also recording an album at the same studio. They reportedly were almost going to sing on Skater Boy together as a duet, but this idea was scrapped. This is why there are so many breakup songs on Let Go. After becoming famous, she dated her then guitarist Jesse Colburn for about a year. In 2004, she began dating Derek Whibley of Sum 41, whom she later married on July 15, 2006 at a private estate in Montecito, California. She wore a Vera Wang gown and invited 110 guests to the wedding. The theme of the wedding was rock and roll goth, and the couple danced to Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls as their first dance. Photos were featured in People magazine. They later divorced after 3 years of marriage on October 9, 2009, but remained good friends. Derek also produced half of Avril's fourth album, Goodbye Lullaby. She was friends with Derek for 2 years before they started dating. She even said they had made out on the first day they met, and she played her song Darlin' for him, which he would later produce on Goodbye Lullaby. From February 2010 to January 2012, she dated reality star Brody Jenner, who she's still good friends with. In 2012, Avril's manager suggested the idea of her working with Chad Kroeger of the band Nickelback for her fifth album. They became friends from working in the studio together. Avril said she had first met Chad when she was being carried out of a bar when she was 17 by Derek Whibley and recognized, quote, the guy from Nickelback. They had also met in 2004 at the Much Music Video Awards when Nickelback presented her with the award for People's Choice Favorite Canadian Artist. The first thing Avril said to Chad when they met in the studio was about Chad's shorter haircut. When Avril met Chad in the studio, she said she, quote, had a feeling that something would happen between them and said she couldn't wait to go to the studio every morning to see him. Though Avril has stated they officially began dating on July 1st, 2012, an article by People magazine claims they dated as early as February. The relationship was kept under wraps until their engagement announcement in August. While working on her 5th album, Avril took photos with a Polaroid camera and put them in a scrapbook. Chad then proposed to her by putting a photo in the scrapbook of himself holding the engagement ring with the caption, "Will you marry me?" Her engagement ring was a pear-shaped 14-karat diamond. Avril and Chad married on Canada Day on July 1st, 2013 in southern France in a medieval castle at 9:00 p.m. The wedding lasted 3 days with about 100 or so of their closest friends and relatives. Their first dance was a song they had written and recorded together called "If I Said I Loved You," a song which they had planned to release to the public in the future but never did. The theme of the wedding was Canada Day, with red and white decorations, as well as French goth and fairy tale. Avril wore a black wedding gown designed by Monique Woulier and had a black bouquet and a black cake. Photos were featured in Hello Canada magazine. On September 2nd, 2015, Avril announced on Instagram that she and Chad were officially separating. From 2016 to 2017, she was living with fellow musician Ryan Cabrera, and it was believed that the two were dating, but this was never officially confirmed by the couple. Ryan Cabrera later made reference to being in New York City in late 2016 around the time of the presidential elections in the US, and that his girlfriend at the time did not know what was going on because she wasn't American, leading fans to speculate that he was referencing Avril. In late 2017, Avril had an on-again, off-again relationship with her producer Jonathan J.R. Rodham. They wrote and produced several songs for Avril's 6th studio album, Head Above Water, but only Birdie made the cut. From March 2018 to November 2019, Avril dated billionaire Philip Seraphim. From January to October 2020, Avril dated Pete Jonas of the band Jaguar Twin, who had opened for Avril on the Head Above Water tour. And in November 2020, Avril began a relationship with Derek Smith, better known by his stage name Modson. In January 2021, they released a duet for his album Internet Killed the Rock Star called Flames, and he helped write and produce on Avril's upcoming 7th studio album. Fashion style. Her trademark look is loads of black eyeliner and smoky eye makeup. One of her favorite eyeliners is Smolder by MAC. Though it was said that she stopped wearing ties because she, quote, felt like she was wearing a costume, Avril later denied this. In the early days of her career, Avril would usually bring her own clothes to photo shoots and do her own makeup. Her sister-in-law Amy worked as Avril's stylist during the Goodbye Lullaby era. Her hair and makeup artist from 2007 to 2017 was Gabriel Panduro, who recently rejoined her team solely as her makeup artist. From 2018 to the present, her hairstylist is Lauren Bates. Avril has said one of her favorite things to do is shop for underwear. Her favorite colors are pink and black. As a child, she had blonde hair which became darker as she got older. She now dyes her hair blonde and often puts colored streaks in it, such as black, pink, green, blue, and red. Her natural eye color is blue. Her favorite designers include Betsy Johnson, Chanel, and Vivienne Westwood. She loves spikes, studs, skulls, stars, stripes, and plaid, which she has incorporated into her own clothing line, Abby Dawn. Avril gets inspired by the fashion in Japan and loves shopping there. She has piercings in her ears and navel. To keep her skin young and healthy, Avril avoids being in the sun. This also gives it its signature paleness. She has also mentioned using the Proactive skincare products since she was in high school. She did a brand endorsement campaign with Proactive from 2010 to 2011. Career achievements. Avril is one of 3 artists to have 3 consecutive #1 singles from a debut album and the only Canadian artist to achieve this. The other 2 artists who have achieved this are Ace of Base and Lady Gaga. She is the youngest female artist to have a #1 album in the UK. Her debut album, Let Go, has been certified diamond in Canada for sales of 1 million copies, which is a rare achievement. Her music video, Girlfriend, was the first video of any kind to reach 100 million views on YouTube and is her most viewed video to date with nearly 600 million views. She currently has 15 videos with over 100 million views. To date, she has sold more than 40 million albums and 30 million singles worldwide and has had 5 #1 top 40 singles, as well as 1 Billboard Hot 100 #1 single. She won the Juno Award for Album of the Year in 2003 for Let Go, as well as New Artist of the Year. According to CelebrityNetWorth.com, she is currently estimated to be worth $60 million. Her first award was the MTV Video Music Award for Best New Artist in August of 2002. As of 2021, she has received a total of 8 Grammy nominations and would eventually like to win one someday. She performed Who Knows at the closing ceremonies of the 2006 Olympics in Torino and performed Girlfriend and My Happy Ending at the closing ceremonies of the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. Avril holds the record for playing the most times at the Much Music Video Awards with a total of 5 performances. There is a glass case in a hockey arena in Napanee that has lots of Avril memorabilia, including a plaque given to her in 2011 presented by the mayor of Napanee. She has been on a total of 5 record labels so far in her career: Arista, RCA, Epic, BMG, and currently DTA Records. In 2021, she was inducted into the class of 2022 for a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, an achievement she said she's wanted for her whole life. The induction ceremony will take place sometime next year in order to coincide with the 20th anniversary of the release of her debut album. Tattoos. Avril has always loved tattoos and has several of them, though most of them are small and hidden. She has usually gotten them spontaneously and has several that are matching with friends or boyfriends. The following is a list of her known tattoos according to stealherstyle.net. Her first tattoo was the star logo from her debut album Let Go on the inside of her left wrist, which she got as a matching tattoo with Ben Moody while they were working together on Under My Skin. Several fans have also gotten this same tattoo. She also has a tiny blue star on her left leg, which she got in Atlanta with Butch Walker. She has a giant star on her left hip accompanied by a smaller star. The big star is a matching tattoo with one of her friends named Jamie, while the smaller star is a matching tattoo with friend and former bandmate Evan Taubenfeld. On her left forearm, she has several tattoos, including her nickname Abby Dawn, which is also the name of her clothing line, the number 30, which she got with ex-husband Derek Whibley for his 30th birthday in March 2010. In April 2010, she got a tattoo of a lightning bolt right below it with then-boyfriend Brody Jenner, who got a matching tattoo behind his ear. In May 2012, she added a tattoo of a skull and crossbones underneath the Abby Dawn tattoo, which was then covered by a cupcake with colorful stars, sprinkles, and a Hello Kitty hair bow. She has the French inscriptions La Vie en Rose, which means life in pink, and Vivre le moment présent, which means live in the present moment, which she got with Chad Kroeger when they were working together on her 5th studio album in 2012. In an interview with Chelsea Lately, she said, "When I met him, I was really surprised that he didn't have any tattoos. So the second day in the studio, I'm like, I'm so getting you your first tattoo." The tattoos weren't intended to be matching. Originally, Avril had just the first line, La Vie en Rose, and Chad had Vive le moment présent, but she later added the second line in order to match his. In November 2017, she got a tattoo of a Gothic-style cross by Michael Cortez. In the same session, she also got a tattoo of a giant knife and a giant rose. In April 2018, she got a tattoo of a red heart, which initially had the name Philip written on the inside of the heart for her then-boyfriend Philip Seraphim, who got the same tattoo with Avril's name. The text on Avril's tattoo was later replaced with Mom. She had initially said one day she would like to get a tattoo of a, quote, big-ass heart with a flag through it with a name, and that she was just, quote, waiting for that special someone to come back into my life. This was presumably the tattoo she was referencing. On her right forearm, she has a small black star which was initially blue, a pink heart with a D inside on her right wrist for then-boyfriend Derek Whibley, who got a similar tattoo with an A. Beneath the heart is a music note. For her 25th birthday, she got a tattoo of XXV, which is the Roman numeral for 25, on the inside of her right elbow. Her then-boyfriend Brody Jenner got the same tattoo. In October 2017, she got a full-arm tattoo of the astrological symbols for her zodiac sign of Libra, the symbol for air, which is the element associated with Libra, and the symbol for Venus, which is the ruling planet of Libra. In May 2010, she got a matching tattoo with Brody Jenner of the word fuck underneath her left ribcage. She has said that it is her favorite tattoo and her favorite word. In July 2010, she had the name Brody tattooed underneath her right ribcage for Brody Jenner, who got Avril's name tattooed on his left forearm. Avril's other tattoos include a safety pin on the left side of her neck, which she got in March 2011. Safety pins were a common theme in her Abby Dawn clothes at the time. She tweeted, "It comes in handy all the time. It can hurt you, but at the same time keep you together. Safety first." She also has a small star on the right side of her upper back and fuck you on the middle finger of her right hand. The website stealherstyle.net claims Avril changed one of the freckles on her right forearm into a tiny red star, but it's honestly really difficult to tell if it's actually a tattoo or it's just simply a freckle. This brings her total number of current tattoos to at least 23 confirmed tattoos, and her current boyfriend Modson has her name tattooed on the back of his neck. She does not currently have his name tattooed on her. Miscellaneous. Avril is obsessed with Hello Kitty and used to have 3 entire rooms in her house decorated entirely with Hello Kitty. She also wrote a song dedicated to the iconic cartoon character for her 5th album and got to meet Hello Kitty in person on a Japanese TV show in 2013. She received a custom-made Hello Kitty guitar. In the summer of 2012, Avril sold her home in Los Angeles to rent an apartment in France so she could take French classes with Berlitz. In addition to French, Avril also knows some phrases in Chinese, Japanese, and a few other languages so that she can communicate with fans during concerts in foreign countries. She also recorded her hit single Girlfriend in several languages. She had the chance to meet Prince Charles at the Alice in Wonderland film premiere in London in 2010. While living in Los Angeles, she used to live in a gated community. Avril used to get scared of being home alone at night and would sometimes call Evan Taubenfeld in the middle of the night to come and stay with her. If she wasn't a singer, Avril said she would love to be a cop, a chef, a makeup artist, or an interior decorator. Her nicknames include Av, Avi, Abby Dawn, and Abby. Her dad gave her the nickname Abby Dawn after a street in Kingston, Ontario, which she used to use as an alias when staying in hotels and would later use it as the name for her clothing line. If Avril could be another famous person for a day, she'd want to be the Queen of England. She is obsessed with castles. Her first on-screen kiss was Danica McKellar in her music video for Rock and Roll. Avril's favorite swear word is fuck. She's only about 5'2" tall. She attended Kim Kardashian's wedding to Chris Humphries in 2011, which was televised on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She was also in attendance for Yolanda Hadid's marriage to David Foster the same year, where Avril reportedly sang a duet with Kate Hudson. Avril's favorite places to vacation are France and Italy. She sometimes needs to wear glasses. She says she would love to have the lead role in a movie one day and would love to either be in a drama or a comedy. She once said she doesn't like hospitals because they freak her out. In 2011, Avril and her then-boyfriend Brody Jenner were involved in a bar fight. Though she has said she is 100% against drugs, she still smokes cigarettes occasionally. In 2014, she began to feel ill while on the Avril Lavigne tour. She was later diagnosed with Lyme disease and was bedridden for several months. Her mom stayed with her while her then-husband Chad Kroeger was on tour. She revealed her illness in an article with People magazine in April 2015. Though Avril says she is no longer religious, she says she is still a spiritual person. She described becoming closer to God during her battle with Lyme disease. As for her political views, Avril has never publicly confirmed which political party she aligns with or who she has voted for, nor has she ever publicly endorsed any political candidate. However, in 2003, she did openly disagree with then U.S. President George W. Bush's decision to go to war in Iraq, and in 2012, she was spotted in an airport wearing a pin supporting then U.S. President Barack Obama. While Avril is a legal resident of the United States, as far as we know, she is not a U.S. citizen, and therefore cannot legally vote in the U.S. It is unknown if she participates in voting in her home country of Canada or who she has historically voted for. Contrary to her onstage personality, Avril is actually very shy and introverted offstage and around people she doesn't know very well. Avril, Justin Bieber, and Jake Gyllenhaal all supposedly share a relative. She sometimes forgets the words while singing on stage because she is distracted by the signs in the audience. She doesn't like to use social media very often and has said that she is in charge of all her own social posts. Before going on stage, Avril likes to drink tea. She also tries not to talk too much and drinks lots of water throughout the day. The weirdest gift she has ever received from a fan was a wedding dress and a rabbit. She once played a prank on the paparazzi for a show called Pop Fiction to fool them into thinking she was pregnant. She avoids sceney places like the Ivy where she knows there will be lots of paparazzi. She usually tries to sneak in through back doors. And the last interesting fact that we have about Avril is that her favorite holiday is Christmas. And there you have it. While it's quite impossible to know exactly everything about Avril, this is a pretty comprehensive list of some of her favorite things as well as her hobbies and interests. What fact surprised you the most? Let me know over on the podcast Instagram page at bestdamnavrilpod, or let me know if there's anything I missed or what other interesting facts you'd like to know about Avril. For now, that concludes this edition of the Best Damn Avril Lavigne podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. I'll be taking a little break, but I'll be back for a special Christmas episode to celebrate the holiday season. That's coming up next time on the Best Damn Avril Lavigne podcast. The Best Damn Avril Lavigne podcast is hosted, produced, and edited by Andrea DiFrancesco. Theme music is HD and Lights by J. Powell Flicks. Follow the latest podcast news on Instagram at bestdamnavrilpod or email bestdamnavrilpod@yahoo.com.